You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. First in Newsday, Thomas Spota has been released from federal prison 3 years into his 5-year sentence. Now, records show the former Suffolk DA is under community confinement. Spota and one of his top investigators were both convicted of obstruction of justice and witness tampering back in 2019. Prosecutors say they try to cover up a beating of Christopher Loeb at the hands of former police chief James Burke. Now, you can read more about this story. Go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. And the Republican National Convention is underway, and Sherry Einhorn has the latest in Milwaukee.
How do Long Island's Republican candidates strike a balance between what has at times been described as extreme messaging from Donald Trump and the Republican committee with what voters want to hear in local neighborhoods? Here's what Senate candidate Mike Sapricone from Oyster Bay told me.
Who are we kidding? It's hard. You know, some people are going to say, people look at me and say, oh, you're endorsed by President Trump, and they walk away. And I have to say, well, but you don't know me. Could you listen to me a little bit and let me explain? You should vet your candidates. You should understand what they stand for. We don't all stand for the exact same thing.
A key theme here in Milwaukee this week has been unity, something that's been largely echoed by speaker after speaker.
For Republicans, I think what we need to show is that we are unified during this entire week, during our convention. I think it's something that we've tried to show as best we can, clearly over the last 17 or 18 months.
What we're hearing a lot out of this Republican National Convention is they're talking about the bread and butter issues. They're talking about immigration. They're talking about safety. They're talking about gas prices. And they are avoiding some of the more controversial issues like abortion. Obviously, abortion a big issue for Democrats and something that has helped them rally voters.
So how is the GOP working to rally their base and the undecided voters?
I think what's notable about the Trump campaign this year is how unextreme it has been. The interesting thing is how much Donald Trump has moderated the Republican position on abortion and on other issues. It's going to lift the sails of all of the Republicans who are running lower on the ballots.
Whether this so-called more moderate approach is a campaign strategy that wins over voters is obviously something experts say we just won't know until November 6th. In Milwaukee, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Now for the latest news from the RNC, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. And President Joe Biden has COVID. The White House says he's experiencing mild symptoms and will fly home from Vegas to Delaware to isolate. The Atlantic Beach Bridge will be closed for the next few nights for routine maintenance. The Nassau County Bridge Authority says starting tonight, the full bridge will be closed in 15-minute intervals. This will happen between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And an Island Park supermarket announced a meat recall. King Cullen says 18 packages of ground beef may have glass or plastic particles in it. It was a store brand and sold between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Monday. The store says no other meat was affected, though. And a bill banning transgender females from playing in girls' sports at county facilities was signed into law on Monday, but there are questions over how it will be enforced. Macy Eglin has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
This policy could inflict a lot of shame and harm on many people. I mean, what are they going to do in Eisenhower Park? Ask people to pull down their pants?
More questions than answers over how Nassau County plans to enforce its recently approved bill banning transgender female athletes from competing in women's and girls' sports at county facilities.
It's not anti-anything. It's pro-women. It's just common sense. Biological males shouldn't be competing against biological females. We know they're bigger, stronger, and faster.
The bill was passed by the county legislature on June 24th, but county officials have not responded to our questions over exactly what changes it would create.
The county hasn't said how they will enforce it. The county has said nothing to this effect, other than it's a case-by-case scenario and that they don't want to humiliate them. So that's led opponents to say this is really just political bluster.
When applying for permits to use county property, interested groups will be required to disclose information about athletes. Nassau officials say the bill is meant to prevent injuries, but opponents say it will only create harm.
This is just a piece of legislation that is hateful in nature, unnecessary, does not address a problem at all, and will only continue to further to discriminate against the transgender community.
Top governing officials told Newsday public school sports teams with transgender female athletes will not use county facilities. Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglund.
New York's Attorney General and the New York Civil Liberties Union have sued Nassau over the ban. You can read more about this story at Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. A group of seniors got together to play softball, and all the players are 80 years old and up.
They also love to be active. It gets everybody out of the house. It's a social happening for many people. It's a health we're here running and preparing and doing all kinds of different things that we want to do. But we all love softball.
80-year-old Pat Clammer is the first female to play in the league's All-Star game. She played professional women's softball in the 70s. Today's game was shortened, though, to 4 innings because of the heat. And the Long Island Game Farm has some new additions. Beth Whitehouse has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
From giant beast to creepy bug to animals so cute you just want to hug. These are the newest residents of the Long Island Game Farm this summer. First, say hello to Lily and Dilly, the capybaras. What's a capybara? Seems like all the kids know. They're super popular on TikTok and Instagram.
There are like memes of them, of like them decked out in sunglasses, or some of them are like riding on surfboards and stuff like that. And they're just known to be like pretty chill animals and stuff.
Viewing these large rodents is free with admission. Purchase the optional capybara encounter and you can feed them and take selfies. Next stop, the camels.
All right, guys, so these are our 2 camels, Chuck and Bear. We are gonna go and feed them some carrots. So here's what we do. Take a little bit, hold it at the end, and they take it just like that. Very simple. Yeah, try it out. For you as well.
Is this like their version of candy?
A little bit. It's a treat for them. We do the camel counters twice a day for free. You can come up, I can give you a carrot or 2, and we can feed them.
Our last stop is to meet the bugs.
So my favorite new species to bring in this year is the Madagascar hissing cockroach. And one of the educators will bring them out during the day. And if you're lucky, you'll be able to let one climb on your hand.
He's not big.
Oh, it feels kind of tickly. Okay, your turn.
Don't let it go.
Your turn, Matthew.
You gotta like juggle them in your
Ready?
hand so that it doesn't go off the table. I'm scared.
It feels kind of fun.
Oh, he's sticky. That's so sticky.
Matthew, I'm proud of you.
So
You were saying you
real.
didn't want to do it.
That is so real.
For Newsday TV, I'm Beth Whitehouse.
Now, to read more about the new arrivals, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your wet and rainy Long Island weather. The bad news is there's a lot going on when it comes to thunderstorms. So tonight we have scattered thunderstorms, and tomorrow we do have some showers to wake us. But as you can see, it will taper off during midday and will stay pretty dry for at least a little bit. But you notice the rain will come back soon after and into next week. But let's keep the fingers crossed that the weekend remains dry.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Islanders save on their energy bills for over 20 years.
That's right, the Newsday TV family is growing. Peyton Claire was born on Tuesday, weighing in at 6 pounds, 10 ounces. Congratulations to Macy Eglin and her husband Cody. Baby and mom are happy and healthy. So cute. You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us.